Cincinnati Bengals. Cincy, as I called it, not that I'm happy about this, but Cincy had a downer year, right? They struggled last year. They could never get out the gate. They couldn't win close games. And at the end of the season, just fell short, just did not have enough in the tank. And it is what it is. I do not think that will happen again. I think they were by far the best team that missed out in the playoffs. I thought Joe Burrow should have gotten MVP votes. Like, I think all of that. But let's jump into this. Cincinnati Bengals, $52 million in cap space. This was me. And let's start with this. I have them trading Trey Hendrickson to the Atlanta Falcons and grabbing that. I thought they were going to get a first-round pick. I guess not. If they did, I have that pick down there, but we'll see. But let's start up top, because this is what it's all about, really. You got to extend T. Higgins off that franchise tag, work out a long-term deal, and then you got to work out a long-term deal with Jamar Chase. That's going to eat really all your cap. That is why we joked about Trey Hendrickson. That's why he's out of town. That's why a number of veterans are even being talked about are out of town, and that's just how it's going to be for them. They're keeping those two wide receivers. I doubt T. Higgins reaches the open market anymore. I think this is with the announcement that Trey Hendrickson is out. I think T. Higgins is staying, and so sign both of those two guys. I don't know what that number is going to be. You got any shots in the dark about that?
For T?
For both. I mean, T
T
start with Lamar, right?
Yeah, 30 for T, maybe like 40 for Chase. And they're both going to be really, really, really expensive because you waited for some reason. You took the Dallas Cowboys method of free agency signing. That's wait till everyone's pissed off, and it costs like 10% more, and then sign them.
You let CeeDee Lamb sign. You let A.J. Brown sign. You let Justin Jefferson sign. You let all those guys sign, and now here you are having to cut two massive checks to one position, and you did it to yourself. Sign those two guys. You're losing some offensive line help or offensive linemen, and that's really been the Achilles heel for this team for as long as I can remember, as long as Joe Burrow's been there. You don't have a ton of money, I don't think, after you sign those two guys, and so you're going to have to go bargain bin hunting a little bit here. I thought maybe guard Kevin Zeitler from the Lions might be a good fit here. He's going to be cheap. You could plug him in right away. He's better than like the almost free guards that are out there. I think he's better than that. And I think it's an ideal win now situation, because that's as soon as you sign T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, you better go win a Super Bowl try to win a Super Bowl every single year. There's not a lot of, all right, let's take a long-term approach here. You better be going all in every year and make those contracts worth it, because no one makes that kind of investment in a wide receiver. But how do you feel about it so far?
Well, I mean, obviously, I love T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, that duo. I mean, when they're on, it's hard to find a duo that's better than them. I know there's A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith duo. There's a lot of duos in the league, but when this one's on, when triple crown winner Jamar Chase is going, and T. Higgins, red zone nightmare, height, speed kind of guy is on, this hard. And then you have Joe Burrow there. So I think keeping a super strength for them is positive. They just got to win every game 40-37.
Yeah.
That's
there's not a lot of. I'll say here, sign Eric Kendricks, because you don't have a lot of money, and I think Eric Kendricks played fine last year for Dallas. I don't think they'll re-sign him. I think it'll be fairly cheap and a serviceable option there at linebacker. The biggest loss this team's going to face is the loss of Lou Amarillo. That was just a stupid move. It was a reactionary, knee-jerk move trying to appease the masses, and someone's head has to roll because you didn't make the playoffs, and you fire your defensive coordinator, who for years proved he was a great defensive coordinator. Now he tries to fix an injured defense, can't do it, and you fire him at the end of the year. Just a stupid move. That's why they're the Bengals. But it is what it is. He's out, and now you got to try to piece back together this defense that's losing a couple cornerbacks. Probably now we're going to lose your best player at defensive end. And so after Eric Kendricks, I hit the draft pretty hard with defensive linemen. I think Kenneth Grant, big man out of Michigan, is a good guy to bring in. And then if you have that second first-round pick from a Trey Hendrickson trade, which I don't know why. I think this is all BS. I think you're getting a first for Trey Hendrickson. I just can't imagine you're not. But if you're good.
No, he's just saying he's an incredible player. I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, if you're a contending team, or if you think you are, and you get a guy who can lead the league in sacks any year, you give whatever you can.
Yeah, you're talking about multiple firsts for Myles Garrett, but you can't get one for Trey Hendrickson. I just don't buy that's reality. I
No.
think you get a first here, and I think you take, if it's not Shamar Stewart, the athletic freak out of Texas A&M, I think you go and get the best edge you can find on the board, and you just try to hopefully hit it like the Rams did with those young defensive linemen that are ready
Yeah.
to play right away, because you're going to need these guys ready right away. You're going to need these guys to perform in, come January, December in Kansas City and in Buffalo. So you're going to need these guys to perform right away.
Yeah, this model has been proven to work at times. Like I remember when Peyton Manning was with the Colts, they would just run up the scoreboard and let Freeney go, when they're up big, and let them kind of finish the game. So hopefully one of these guys that you draft here becomes one of the, you're getting cheap contracts. Look how fast the Rams did it. You just gotta start nailing the draft now. This is what the Cincinnati has to do now. You pay a quarterback and two big name wideouts. You got to start nailing the draft. Look what the Dolphins have to do now. The Dolphins have to cut everybody because they paid two big wideouts and a quarterback. So yeah, this is what we have to do. Just hit this draft. This draft is so full of edge rushers and defensive linemen.
Yeah.
This is a good time to do that. So yeah, I mean, maybe that's why they want to get rid of Trey. Like we can get a cheaper, younger model of Trey, and hopefully he's as good as Trey. But who knows?